Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night, erase all of these broken dreams and flight. And we'll
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today's video, as you saw by the title, is going to be my pregnant at 17 and 20 story and experience. I'm going to kind of let you guys know the somewhat details while summarizing it as much as I can, so this video isn't too long, as well as just kind of saying the differences between the two, because they were significantly different, obviously because of my age, and so different experiences. So I want to share that with you guys, starting off with my first pregnancy, which is when I was pregnant at 17. So around 16 is when I started having sex with my current husband, my first boyfriend, Daniel, and we were hiding it obviously, but eventually my parents questioned me about it, and I was just open and honest that yes, I was having sex. Frightened as any parent would be. My parents wanted me to be on birth control, and they didn't want me to be on birth control so that I would be having sex. They just simply wanted to know if I was hiding it, at least I'd be protected. It was kind of like a safety measure, but they were hoping that I would not have sex. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I went to the clinic with my mom. It was some nearby clinic, and the only two types of birth control they offered was the pill or a shot that you take every 3 months called Depo-Provera. My mama did not trust me with taking pills consistently, and so instead of going with the pill, she said, I think you should go with the Depo-Provera shot. So we signed off on it. I got the shot in my arm, and I was supposed to not be able to get pregnant for 3 months, then go back, get it again. The nurse said she liked it and it's so good and she's had no problems with it. You'll just bleed a little bit in the beginning and then it'll go away. So I'm like, okay, doesn't sound like too much work. So I got it that day, went home, everything was fine. And then the bleeding began. And when I say bleeding, it was not a few days. It didn't take a month. It literally had me bleeding every single day for 3 months straight. I felt terrible. I was always getting stomach pains. I started constantly getting ovarian cysts that were giving me pain. I just felt miserable. I was sick of bleeding all the time. It just felt like it wasn't causing my body any good. So eventually I was just like, honestly, I can't take this another time. I'm gonna let the 3 months go out, but I cannot take this another time. I refused to go back to the clinic and get that shot again, because it literally just did not make me feel like myself, and it didn't feel like it was benefiting my body at all. Of course, my mom wanted me to be on birth control because, like, hello, that was kind of the point here. I was supposed to eventually get on some other type of birth control, but obviously I'd have to go to a different clinic that would offer more of a variety. Well, I didn't wait that long, and I was still having sex. At this point, we were dating for, I think, 2 years or a little over that. Literally about a month after not having the shot anymore, I started feeling symptoms of potentially being pregnant. We did have a talk about if I was to get pregnant, like how we would deal with it and stuff. just kind of putting it in passing because obviously we knew it was a possibility, but at the same time, for some reason, we just didn't really feel like it would happen fast or anything, so we didn't think we'd have to worry about it. Boy, was I wrong. But at this point, I wasn't sure if I was actually feeling symptoms or if I was just kind of tricking my body out of nervousness. So I was like, okay, I let Danny know that I was feeling like I might be pregnant, but we were kind of just like, let's just wait it out until it gets to your period, and if you don't get your period, we'll take tests and go from there. So that's what we did. We waited until it got up to my period time. I still wasn't seeing a period, and so we were like, okay, let's take a test. Obviously not having a lot of money, we went to a dollar store because I saw on some videos people mentioning dollar stores had pregnancy tests for cheap. So I was like, okay. We had a dollar store in like one of these malls nearby my house, so we were like, okay, go there, get a cheap test, take it. If it gives us a positive, then we'll take another test to confirm. That's a little bit more expensive. I took the test in the morning with first morning urine because that's supposed to be when you get the best results for a pregnancy test. So I snuck it into the bathroom. I started taking it, and it was the kind where you have to put the dropper into your pee cup and then put it on the test, and it'll load your results. If it's 1 line, negative, 2 lines, positive. I waited, and as my results were loading in, my dad knocked on the bathroom because he had to use the bathroom. I was like, oh crap, I can't leave this sitting down. I don't want him to see it. So I shoved it in my pocket real quick, even though you're not supposed to move them. I shoved it in my pocket real quick and left out the bathroom. And then as I was waiting to go back into the bathroom because I was going to take a shower, but I was doing this first, I took it out my pocket to look at it for a second, and I was stunned. I saw that there was the faintest 2 lines. It was really, really faint, but I wasn't sure if it was because I moved the test that could have gave me weird results or if it was accurate. So I told Danny. Eventually we're like, okay, at some point when we get brought to the store, we'll sneak and buy a better test. So later on that day, I just kept holding my pee and drinking water. We went to a Walmart and we were able to purchase the first response because we had enough money saved. So we got a first response test. I took it in the bathroom at Walmart, and right away it told me positive, strong lines. I texted Danny about it, then we talked about it a little bit, but kind of waited till we were on our own. And from there, I was like, I can't say anything about this right now because I was just so scared of my parents' reactions. I didn't think they would tell me to get an abortion or anything because they're Christians. I know they don't believe in abortion like that, so I knew I'd be safe there. I was just really, really scared of their reactions. And especially thinking about how mad my dad would be because this was like his biggest fear that he was trying to prevent, and it was coming to life. I wasn't worried necessarily when it came to the fact that I knew in my heart that this happened. God doesn't make mistakes, and so if he felt like we were prepared to be parents, then we were gonna have this baby and we're gonna be okay. So there was really no talk about abortion with us. We just knew strongly that we didn't agree with that for ourselves, and so we weren't going to go through with that. But we were waiting the pregnancy out and waiting until we felt like it was a good time to say something, because we didn't want to say something and then I miscarry, but then we also didn't want to just say something and then craziness happens because it was completely unexpected. So I waited for 4 months to tell my parents, and during those 4 months I was pretty stressed because I was feeling really nauseous, throwing up so much. I did not expect it to be like this at all, and I could barely keep foods down. I was mainly able to eat soup and noodles and I think boiled eggs. I wasn't able to keep down much of anything. And I was so nervous that at some point my parents were going to hear me throwing up in the bathroom or something and then ask me about the pregnancy. Thankfully, that didn't happen. I was able to tell them when I was ready. Even though I waited 4 months, I don't regret it because I was able to say the news when I felt comfortable enough. 4 months went by. It started getting towards the point where we could find out the gender and stuff. Like, it was getting near there. It wasn't there yet. I think I was like 16 weeks. I know that we were getting close to the halfway mark, and I was starting to feel like, okay, I need to grow up and be able to take this baby to the doctor because she needs to be getting seen. At the time, I didn't know I was having a girl, but I knew that the baby growing inside of me needed to get checkups, and I needed to make sure I'm okay and all of that. And I was just tired of hiding it. The stress was overwhelming of trying to hide it and keep it a secret. And so I let Danny know the night that he was getting ready to leave my house, because at this point we weren't able to go to his house. It was only my house, clearly, so we didn't have sex. I was so nervous, and I didn't want to say it on my own, but then at the same time I did, because I wanted to give my parents the privacy to like have whatever reaction they had, instead of feeling like they were like forced to be 100% okay with it because my boyfriend's there as well. So once he left and went home, I took out one of the old tests that I had and I brought it to my mom, and first she was shocked. She's like, "What is this?" And I was so uncomfortable to bring it up. I was so nervous, but I knew in my heart that it was the right thing to do, and I just wanted them to know already. I was tired of covering it up. So we had a conversation about it. You know, she comforted me some too, letting me know that everything will be okay, and asked me questions like, how far along do I think I am and stuff. I honestly at that point wasn't 100% sure, because I had earlier in the pregnancy had like a lot of bleeding for a couple days, and I thought I might have been miscarrying. So I honestly wasn't really sure what time frame I was at. I kind of got lost in my thoughts with that, and just knew that I was probably close to 4 months. So we told my brother next, and you know, he said he kind of expected it and stuff like that. No crazy reaction. Afterwards, my mom said she'll send a message out to the family talking about it, and also let my dad know. I was so thankful for that, because I was really, really scared to tell my dad. Everything was kind of normal, you know. At first it was hard for him to bring it up to me and like talk about it and stuff, so we just didn't really talk about it. And then eventually we got around to having a conversation about it and stuff, and just like what we're gonna do, where we're gonna live, stuff like that. They let it be known that we could stay at my parents' house, and I was really thankful for that, because I wasn't sure how they were gonna handle that. Our daughter was born. Beautiful baby girl. We decided to compromise and house hop. So every 3.5 days we'd go from my parents' house to his mom's house, so everyone could see the baby, I can get help, and we just figured that would kind of be like the nicest way to also give our parents space to just like do their own thing and not have to just keep worrying about us all the time. So we did that for a year, and it was a lot of work, very tiring, packing up your stuff every 3.5 days and going to another house, but we did what we had to do. Danny was working, I was staying home with Era, our daughter, and after a while he needed a break from that, I felt like, and so I was like, I'm gonna take on the responsibility of working for a while. I need to get out the house a little bit too. And so we switched, and he stayed home with Era, I worked. So we did that for the first year that we were just going from parents' house to parents' house. And then after a while we're like, okay, we need to save more money and we need to move out, because in both houses we just had one small room, all of our stuff in it, and it was just starting to feel claustrophobic. It was starting to feel tiring not having space to really grow and raise our daughter on our own and just have our own parenting style. So we both got jobs. We did what we had to do. My mom would watch Era while we were gone at work. Afterwards, we saved up enough money to move out, and when we were finally able to move out, it felt unreal, honestly. We kind of had like a plan of how much we wanted to save before we move out, but when we were just at that point where we were ready to, we did what we had to do and we moved out, which was an amazing decision, and I'm so glad we did, because if we didn't, it would have just been more stressful staying in the environment, like I said, of only having one small room, and Era's growing and getting bigger. She didn't need a crib anymore. She needed a toddler bed, and we couldn't fit toddler bed in our rooms. So it just started becoming more and more clear to us that moving out was the best decision. So we did. We packed up all our stuff that we had, bought stuff to fully furnish our new apartment with money we were saving, and continued living life that way. We kept going to school because we started college. We were working. We were just doing everything that we needed to do and getting our homework done, getting good grades, while also taking care of our daughter. So we did all of that. Fast forward to now, my pregnancy at 20, everything's different. After summertime came around, we had purchased a used car for relatively cheap, and we knew that we needed to get our licenses. We've been wanting to get our license, and my mom finally agreed that she would teach us because she was having some more free time since COVID happened. We were all pretty much having free time, being away from our jobs for a while. So she would take us out almost every afternoon and we would practice driving. And we both learned, we were taking turns. We both learned that way. We went to a place to get our license and we both passed. So we both got our license on the same day. And that felt so accomplishing, because it just felt like we've been wanting to get to that point of complete independence, and that was like the last step. And so to finally accomplish that felt amazing. We got our license. Our car, a little ways in after we got our license, started breaking down on us. The engine was starting to feel like it was going to stop any minute. You could tell it was getting really weak and stuff. So we're like, okay, we saved up money during this time, so let's get a better vehicle to go into the winter with instead of being in this one, which had a lot of problems going on with it. So that's what we did. After trying different things to try to get our car to work okay, it just wasn't working out. So we decided, let's look at the car lot, see what we could find, and maybe we'll find a better used car that we can afford and just pay off in full, get insurance, and know that we're good instead of risking our lives. So that's what we did. My mom helped us find a used car, and my dad was helping as well. But my mom went with us when it came to like actually looking at the cars and checking them out, because my dad was really busy working this summer. So after that, we found the car that we're in now, which was way better than the one that we were in previously. It felt much safer. It felt like, okay, this is perfect for our family. So we bought it. Come the following month, or maybe it was like a little ways into the end of that month, I'm not 100% sure, but Danny and I sat down and we talked about it, and we're like, we really feel like it's time to have our second kid. That whole summer, Era was enjoying so much playing with her friends, and she would have her baby dolls and act like they're her siblings and stuff, and we were just like, wow, like she really needs a sibling, a playmate. We were ready. We've been wanting to have another kid, but we were waiting for the right time when we were 100% independent. We were like, okay, we'll make an appointment, get my IUD removed, because I was on birth control for pretty much the majority of the time that I wasn't pregnant after I had my daughter. So now at this point we were ready to have another kid. So I made an appointment at the clinic that I went to while I was pregnant with Era, got my IUD removed, and we started trying. fairly quickly we got a positive, and it felt amazing because I know that a lot of people struggle with getting pregnant, and sometimes you could have one kid and then the next time you try it's really hard. So we felt extremely blessed to get pregnant. And prior to getting that positive, it was during COVID time, so that was the biggest fear of getting pregnant, just not knowing if he'd be able to be in the hospital with me and just different things like that. But we prayed on it and we asked God if this is the right time, then allow us to get pregnant. And if we don't get pregnant during this month, then maybe we'll wait, because maybe that's a sign that it's not the right time since it's COVID time. So we waited. When it came to my period day, I tested in the morning, and as you guys probably saw in my twin pregnancy announcement video that we made, I got a positive, and I was shocked because I, leading up to that, was testing like a mad woman and I was getting negatives, so I just assumed it was going to be negative, but it was a positive. And here we are now. If you didn't watch that video, then go watch it. But basically 8 weeks after we found out and I was able to go to my first appointment, we discovered that we were having twins. And now here I am, pregnant with twins. They are coming in about 2 to 2.5 months. And we just couldn't be more and more blessed and thankful to be having the 3 kids that we actually wanted. I'm just having them sooner than I thought. And I'm 21 now. It just feels so much different. This whole experience, being pregnant at 20 compared to being pregnant at 17, it feels so much less stressful. It's such a easier experience, even though I got really sick in the beginning with nausea and vomiting like I did with Era, except it felt like it was ×2, and clearly it was. I didn't realize I was having twins at the time, but I felt really sick, but it was less stressful because we were able to tell my parents right away, and just knowing that like family, close family knew, made it so much easier. I had support when there's times that like Danny needed to get something done and I just could not get up. He was doing a lot of the workload then, and I'm really thankful for that, making sure the house was clean, taking care of Era, making sure she's having fun, all of that. And I'm so thankful for that because I was just so sick. But we also had help from family because they knew, so it was so nice to have all of that support, which was different than my first time because I was hiding it for 4 months, so I couldn't get that support. Now we are way more financially stable. Danny is working his job that pays pretty well. I'm at home because I'm in preparation for raising those twins, and obviously he's gonna help me out tremendously as well, but I'm gonna be the main one home with them and just making sure, you know, they didn't have to be in daycare at such a young age. We live on our own now, which is a whole nother experience as well, because it's just so weird like having so much space to put baby clothes and baby stuff and prepare our home, our own personal home. It's not just a room anymore, it's a home. And just thinking about how far we've come in comparison to my first pregnancy is just crazy. Thinking about how preparing a room versus preparing a home and having our own car, our own vehicle, all of this is just so amazing, and I feel so blessed to be able to carry these twins and be able to share our journey with you guys. We have been sharing our journey for quite a few years now. I think it's been 3 years, which is pretty crazy. And you guys are just kind of seeing us grow up, and we've really been growing as a married couple and as parents and with our family. And to just see our family grow now from a family of 3 to a family of 5, it makes me so excited. And seeing Era be so excited for her siblings is just an amazing experience as well. So we're so thankful for this experience, and we can't wait to keep sharing more of our lives with you guys here on our channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like this video, comment down below any other types of videos you may want to see, as well as nice comments. We love reading them, replying. Subscribe to become part of the Davis clan, and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I make a new video on this channel. I hope you guys got a feel for our experience, and although we've shared it all throughout on our YouTube channel, I know that we've gotten new subscribers and just new people to our channel, and so I wanted to like kind of re-summarize our story and just give you guys a little bit more in depth of how much we've grown, because I think growth is a very important thing in life, and to really look back and see how much we've grown is amazing, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm gonna stop this video now before I start crying, because emotional pregnant woman, okay? But thank you so much for watching this video. More to come, and besides that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time.